Hello everyone, welcome to the Commexis Cast, all the news you need to know from our inbox to yours. Today we're talking about Snap and Amazon partnering together for some really cool visual product search features. Hello everyone, I'm McGrorty, the videographer and podcaster here at Commexis.
And I'm Phillip Brooks, digital strategist here at Commexis.
And today we are in front of our big, the buyer's journey little graph whiteboard mix combination, and we're talking about, as I mentioned earlier, Snap and Amazon partnering together for some really cool visual product search features. So this was just announced the other day, earlier this week, and Snap has begun slowly rolling it out to a lot of users in the US. Right now, that's just going to be where it's staying. Essentially, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to open up Snapchat, and using your camera, you're going to be able to point to a product logo or a product barcode, and Snap will basically recognize if it's a barcode, an object, or a face if it's trying to use a filter. And then Amazon's machine technology will then decide what products it looks similar to sort of give you the information, and then it'll pop up and you'll be able to buy it right there or view more search results in the Amazon app. So overall, something that I think's really cool, actually.
Yeah, it seems pretty revolutionary to me. Just to kind of give some background about this, what we have behind us here, this is a really, really vital tool that we use to plan out basically our campaigns, to fit each of our tactics strategically into stages of the buyer's journey. So what we're trying to do is, as we develop our content stream and we develop our content strategies for the entire company, we want to show you, the audience, how we build out our strategies for our clients, so you can better see why we concentrate on the buyer's journey and why we're doing things the way that we do. What I really think the value of this falls under, this particular topic, is that generally we start off at the awareness stage. People are looking at social media, so they're looking at Instagram or Facebook to get awareness of products or things like that. And what generally happens in these stages is that once they find these products, they then will go to Amazon or do some research. We actually have a lot of research stating that Amazon's getting nearly as much traction as a search volume, as a search engine, as Google itself. So,
and I think that makes a lot of sense.
You're off camera, by the way.
I know.
Okay. So, yeah, it's a little weird, but we'll get used to it. We're starting. This is a new thing for us. Matt's still here.
I'm still here.
So, but what we're saying is that what this feature does is it allows people to skip what we would generally consider to be the consideration phase for the most part. So it really creates an impulse buy kind of tool. So you see a product, instead of going from Facebook to Amazon or Google to look for it, you go right from Snap right to the purchase phase. And you get kind of a cursory part of the product description here, but you're already ready to check right out, especially if you take advantage of Amazon's one-click checkout feature, and you've got Amazon Prime. So you can essentially go from complete ignorance of a product to having it in your home in 2 days with one click. And I think that's the amazing part of this particular process. You see an influencer, you see somebody that you like wearing a product or using something, you can click on that. All of a sudden, it's home. It's at your house. That guy's ringing your doorbell, and there's a box on your doorstep. I mean, I think that's it's as close as we're getting to the future where people are buying stuff and it's showing up on a drone, which is coming eventually. So,
and what I think is really interesting about this too is
my handwriting is horrific. I'm sorry.
Your handwriting is beautiful,
okay.
Phil. So one of the things that I think is really interesting is we're talking about skipping the consideration phase, and in the consideration phase, normally your user is looking for information on a pain point they're having. But what I really think is super interesting about the visual search, especially some of the examples they gave, like a specific Nike shoe out of all of their lineup was able to be identified based on the logo and what the shoe looked like. What I think is really interesting about that is you are skipping the consideration phase, but you are kind of getting to see the product in space already. Yeah. So you're getting that really nice, I already know what this does.
Yeah, it's not even, hey, that's a weird looking shirt. I wonder how that would look on somebody. You see how it looks on a person. Is it going to be something that I can wear tucked or untucked, for example, or you see a pair of shoes, you're like, are they going to have huge? Do they look like moon boots, or are they nice, comfortable looking shoes, or, So I think that it's particularly when it comes to clothing and attire, that this is a feature that's really, really strong. I would like to see also, musicians and people like that using Snap. I mean, weirdly enough, Amazon doesn't, people don't generally buy physical medium music anymore, or movies and things like that. But that seems like a great natural transition as well. And games, I think, are a big one too. You can show people, here I'm streaming a game and click right over. But again, that's more of a product it's a digital space and not a physical medium. So I think that, at least for me, the biggest application I see for this is clothing and attire. So.
Yeah, I think you have a great point, and you brought up a point earlier when you were describing the process of it really helps you with impulse buying. So TechCrunch...
it doesn't help you.
Yeah, it doesn't. It helps you in one way.
It enables you if you're an impulse buyer.
So TechCrunch had a great piece about how they had heard rumors about this potential product coming out, or this feature rather, but they had a really great statistic. So in the US, Snap's younger user base is 20% more likely to have a mobile purchase than non-users, and 60% more likely to make impulse purchases, according to studies by Murphy Research and GfK. To clarify, Snap's younger user base was just, I'm assuming, the demographic information in general, but I think you have a great point. I don't like to admit it, but sometimes I do make some impulse purchases occasionally, and being able to just see something and go, oh yeah, actually I really do want that shirt or those shoes or something, is definitely a potential enabler. So
if you see somebody that you admire wearing those shoes, wow, I want to look like Mike. If you're a Nike fan.
Yeah. And another thing I think is really interesting is we're seeing more and more social media, in particular Snap, Instagram, and Pinterest, very visual mediums, branching into this shopping area. I mean, with Instagram, we have the shopping in the Explore tab. You have shopping pins now, a lot on Instagram. You have shopping tags rather on Instagram. Pinterest just announced I think it's like shop. What is it called? Give me a second. Let me check my notes for you, folks. It was Shop the Look pins that hit 250 million monthly users. And then obviously Snapchat now has the visual recognition. So you're just seeing one more way for B2Cs to really sell their products, but also one more way for Instagram, Pinterest, and Snapchat to make some money. Whether or not they're making money off of this, we're not sure yet. They didn't disclose.
I mean, it's being rolled out so slowly. Yeah. It's more of a it's almost something they're not publicizing. So it's being rolled out so slowly. I don't know that it would be something that would move the needle on numbers right as of yet. But I just wanted to kind of bring the thing back real quickly. Is that I'm going to show my age here. I mean, this gray beard isn't just because I work with Matt every day, but it's just that as a copywriter by trade, as where I started. The visual medium that you're talking about really is, this kind of the usage of social media takes that copywriting out of the equation in a lot of cases, because you can literally see the product and see how it's being used. You can see the mood set by the images around it, which is something you always struggle with because the copywriting often provides context for the imagery.
Absolutely.
In this case, you've just got that one little window to work with, and it's enough for most people to kind of push them through. So, I think that may fall more in the consideration stage, but when you're skipping that over, you've kind of moved that out of the equation. So I just want to talk to you about that real quickly, just because it's something that's near and dear to my heart, because that's what I do. But it's just important to keep that in mind, that there's still a role for it, but this definitely minimizes it in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point, and I think to some extent that is a really strong point for all of the more visual social medias. I would include Facebook in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's revolution. The entire thing is revolutionizing the buyer's journey, which is exactly why we do this. Because if we're coming up with some sort of strategy and we look at this and we say, well, wait, if we can go right from A to B, why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
If we can find a way to minimize this step to move people directly down the funnel, that's what we want to do. We want to get, we're trying to get leads and for our clients. So the faster we can get them down here, the better. So, any tools that let us do that, we're in favor of.
There you go. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to today's episode of the Commexis Cast. If you'd like to listen to more of us, you can check us out on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Podcast Store, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play Music Store. If you'd like to watch us in full, check us out on YouTube and IGTV, and get a little social snippets in your social media feed by following us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thank you very much, and have a great day.